Marcus Aurelius once said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." But what if I told you that the Stoics had mastered something even more powerful? The ability to read people's true intentions, emotions, and character, without them ever knowing you're doing it. Imagine walking into any room and instantly understanding who's trustworthy, who's trying to manipulate you, and who genuinely has your best interests at heart. The ancient Stoics weren't just philosophers sitting in ivory towers. They were emperors, advisors, and leaders who needed to navigate complex human relationships to survive and thrive. Today, I'm going to share with you the timeless Stoic techniques that will transform how you understand people around you. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have a superpower that most people spend their entire lives trying to develop. The first principle of reading people like a Stoic is emotional detachment. When you're emotionally invested in an outcome, your judgment becomes clouded. Epictetus taught us to observe without attachment, to see things as they truly are, not as we wish them to be. Here's how to apply this. When you're in conversation with someone, resist the urge to immediately form opinions. Instead, become like a scientist studying human behavior. Notice their body language, tone of voice, and word choices without letting your emotions color what you're seeing. Stoics understood that silence is one of the most powerful tools for understanding others. When you stop talking and start truly listening, people reveal far more than they intend to. Here's what to do. After someone finishes speaking, pause for 2 to 3 seconds before responding. This small silence often compels them to fill the gap with additional information, usually more honest and revealing than their initial statement. Most people are uncomfortable with silence and will unconsciously share their real thoughts to break it. Pay attention to what they say in these unguarded moments. These spontaneous additions often contain the truth they were initially trying to hide or soften. Marcus Aurelius was a master at identifying inconsistencies between people's words and actions. This skill served him well as an emperor dealing with senators, generals, and advisors who often had hidden agendas. Focus on these 3 areas: verbal versus non-verbal. Does their body language match their words? Someone saying "I'm fine" while crossing their arms and avoiding eye contact is clearly not fine. Current versus past statements. Do they contradict something they said earlier? Inconsistencies often reveal deception or internal conflict. Values versus actions. Do their actions align with the values they claim to hold? This disconnect reveals character. This technique involves reflecting people's emotions and energy back to them without judgment. When someone is angry, remain calm. When they're excited, stay measured. This contrast often causes them to reveal more about their true emotional state. The key is to become like a still lake. Their emotional waves will crash against your calmness and reveal patterns you wouldn't otherwise notice. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we can't control others' emotions, but we can control our response to them. Instead of focusing on what people do, focus on why they do it. Every action stems from an underlying motivation, and understanding these motivations gives you incredible insight into someone's character and future behavior. Ask yourself, what does this person gain from this action? What are they trying to avoid? What fear or desire is driving their behavior? The Stoics believed that understanding motivation was key to predicting behavior. Seneca noted that a person's true character is revealed under pressure. Pay attention to how people behave when they're stressed, tired, or facing challenges. This is when their masks come off and their authentic selves emerge. Notice, do they blame others or take responsibility? Do they become aggressive or withdrawn? Do they seek support or try to handle everything alone? These stress responses are reliable predictors of how they'll behave in future difficult situations. Stoics were excellent at recognizing patterns because they understood that human behavior is largely predictable. Instead of judging isolated incidents, look for recurring themes in how someone behaves. Track these patterns, how they treat people who can't benefit them, their behavior when they think no one important is watching, how they handle small disappointments, their response to others' success or failure. This is where reading people without them knowing becomes truly powerful. Most people use basic psychological tactics without realizing it. Flattery, emotional manipulation, guilt trips, or pressure tactics. When you recognize these patterns, you gain tremendous insight into someone's character and intentions. The person using flattery reveals their belief that you're susceptible to ego stroking. Someone using guilt reveals their willingness to manipulate emotions to get what they want. Here's how to develop this skill systematically. Week 1 to 2. Focus only on emotional detachment. Practice observing without judging. Week 3 to 4. Add the silence strategy. Start using strategic pauses in conversations. Week 5 to 6. Begin watching for contradictions. Keep mental notes of inconsistencies. Week 7 to 8. Implement the mirror method. Practice remaining calm regardless of others' emotional states. Remember, the goal isn't to manipulate or harm others. It's to protect yourself from deception and build genuine relationships based on truth and understanding. With great power comes great responsibility. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that we should use our understanding of human nature to help others, not to exploit them. The purpose of reading people is to respond to them more effectively, to offer appropriate support, and to protect yourself from those who might wish you harm. Never use these techniques to manipulate or hurt others. The Stoic path is one of virtue, wisdom, and justice. The ability to read people without them knowing isn't about becoming cynical or manipulative. It's about developing wisdom and protecting your peace of mind. These Stoic techniques have been tested over thousands of years by some of history's greatest leaders and thinkers. Start with emotional detachment, add strategic silence, watch for contradictions, and practice the mirror method. Most importantly, remember that this skill should be used to build better relationships and make wiser decisions, not to harm others. If this video helped you understand how to apply Stoic philosophy to reading people, please give it a like and subscribe to the Stoic Mind Fortress for more practical wisdom from the ancient world. What technique are you most excited to try? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and keep building your mental fortress.